So welcome back. I know it's been a while since I posted a video, and we're going to jump right into things. So the computer right in front of us is a computer that I picked up on the Facebook Marketplace. It was listed for $70. I offered the seller $60. The seller took it, agreed, we met, and well, now it's in the garage and it's my problem. Now I'll post a picture to the ad and the selling and all that good stuff because, well, a lot of people like to see that. But if you're looking at this, you're probably saying, $60, you probably got junk for it. Well, hold on. There could be some value. Number one, I like tinkering with the older hardware. Number two, some of this old hardware still has value and people are actually looking for some of the components, cases, certain coolers and stuff. And then there are people who need this hardware for, some software that's outdated and they need it. So there is some value in it. So let's take a look at it. Let's see what we got. See if it works because, well, I have no information whatsoever on it besides what you see in front of the motherboard, which tells us, yeah, Core 2 Duo, Enforce. But, we might have something good. Let's see. So now, before we all start going crazy and start saying Core 2 Duo junk, yes, I am aware. Number one, I would not flip that. There's not much value in Core 2 Duo. There are some people who are rocking it. Hey, more power to you. But what really intrigued me about this computer was the case. This is a Lee & Lee case. It might be a knockoff, but it looks just like those original Lee & Lee case. I believe they were the PC 60 series, 61. I don't know which one exactly this one is, but I do remember it as back in that time, Lee & Lee, they, in my opinion, were the greatest cases. They were just well built, all aluminum chassis. I mean, they were just really cool, and I liked them. Now, this was a first for me. I've actually never bought a whole computer where they actually had the motherboard box, so that was kind of cool. So I really haven't opened this up and looked at it too much. So let's see what we got. Kind of tell us. Man, a CD, Windows XP 64. Look at that, classic. That's actually kind of cool to have. Some type of warranty, maybe, I don't know. What is this? CDs, EVGA, drivers, motherboard CD, even got the ASUS sticker. It's gonna look real good on the toolbox, Motherboard book, which a lot of companies don't do that anymore. This is for the Infinity CPU cooler. Is that what's in there? I'm actually not 100% sure. Caddy mount, aluminum, good quality. And the nice thing about these old cases, no sharp edges. So, you don't have to slice your finger open. You guys know what I'm talking about. Core 2 Quad. So I'm not sure what CPU is in there. We know it's a Core 2 Quad. Which one is it? We'll find out. Thermal paste, Arctic Silver 5. I wonder if it's actually good. Yeah, it looks, it might be all right. Animax power supplies. I used to love buying these back in the old days. Man, I feel old saying that. What else we got? Is this a coaster? Oh, man, that's cool. That's nice. DVI port, SLI, that was a thing. More stickers for the toolbox. Whole bunch of brackets. Pretty sweet. Extra cables, because, we might need those, maybe. Probably not. Don't know what that is, but, that's a thing. I guess somebody used this as extra storage. Whatever that is. SATA cables, some power cables, and let's see, more USB and Firewire. So I got everything we need. Bonus. So now we're on to the computer. And if you look at it, I mean, yeah, there's some red flags that it is old, and we've already learned that looking through the motherboard box. Windows XP. Zoom in, you might get a, free key or something. But the front, got a DVD, matching brand, twinsies, nice. This is pretty cool. I had never seen one of these, and I'm sure that was a thing, but I got a floppy, and I got all those, SD card readers all in one. Never seen that. Pretty cool. It's missing the sticker. USB in the front. Dang it. Broke. Darn. Trash. But it's okay. A little duct tape. Maybe, that's fine. Looking at the back. Kind of zoom in a little bit. PS2. The whole spit out. Firewire. Dual Ethernet. USBs. Let's see, we got DVI, VGA, which, when you see that, run. And, a whole bunch of ports for sound. So, that's pretty cool. Fan looks like a Thermaltake one. Might have an LED in there. And tons of, I mean, let's zoom you out. Just tons of screws there. I mean, pretty nice though. So let's open it up. Let's see how tight these are. Ooh, not tight at all. Okay, that's good. See, pull out. Nice. That's been on there for a little bit. Dust action. So, you know, it was used, maybe sitting, and there's not a lot that you could kind of see in there. So that's typical, you know, got cobwebs going on, you know, that's nice. Good layer of suspicious dust with a whole bunch of diseases, which, you know, probably get me sick. This is pretty cool. A cooler for a, you know, for the graphics card. Pretty nice little feature. Scythe cooler. I didn't know they were that old. I mean, this is like, what, 16-year-old computer? This may have been bought later on, but good to know that Scythe is old. And a whole bunch of ID cables, ketchup and mustard, 3-pin action. So, yeah, that's pretty much what we got. Can't really see too much in there, so I think what I'm going to do is just fire it up. No pun intended, but just turn it on, see if it works, and then we'll kind of dissect it and see exactly what we got. But I'm just curious if this thing even turns on. Now, a good adapter to have when you're testing these old ones, DVI to HDMI. Pop that in right there. Plug this in. I think we're ready to fire it up. We're missing something. Can't be too careful, you know? All plugged in. And if you look at the bottom, there you go. Got the green light, so it means we're getting power. So let's fire it up. Fire it up. Yeah, I figured. So now, before we go crazy ripping everything out, just going to give you a quick tip. And this is something I've run into a lot. If it's not firing it up, yes, you know, make sure you got the button. Make sure you got the power cable. But make sure the power connector pins are in the right position. I've seen that way too many times where these things are just, yeah. Somebody was tinkering with it or upgrading it. They forgot how that goes. They put it in and they said, oh, computer's dead. No good. So let's take a look at that quick. All right, let's just crawl through all the dust and dead bugs. And I probably should blow this off, but, you know, we're doing this just on the fly. So it has one of those fit-all connectors. At least that's what I call them. Power switch is, it's, you know, it's there. It's doing its thing. Let's try jumping it. Sometimes you run into the issue where the power button just don't work. Nope, no action. So I think what I'm going to do next is blow this thing out, get some of this dust and junk out of here, open up the side panel, and let's just do it easy. Let's just swap out the power supply. Let's start there. Just take a look at the side, see if we see anything suspicious. No signs of water damage, more cables. So everything looks pretty good. Old faithful. Now folks, remember, we're just going for better than it was, and I also didn't want to keep messing around with all this dust. I mean, we could go all day long cleaning this, brushing everything out, but still don't know if it works. So let's unplug this. And then in the corner over here, which you can't see because this massive heatsink is in the way, got our CPU power connectors. There's 2 4-pins right in up here. And that should be what we need. Our sacrificial power supply, Thermaltake Smart 600 watts. Honestly, I've had this power supply for a long time, and I just use it for testing like this, and it's never failed me. Knock on aluminum. Which way does it go? Which way does it go? It goes that way. Now, which one says CPU? There we go. And we're going to tuck that in. You know, force it in and slice my finger open a couple of times because these fins are a little, you know, sharp. So I got everything plugged in. And one thing to note, and always keep this in mind when you're messing with these computers and you have some power issues, the green light down there. So when I first started with this Enermax power supply, it was kind of dim, but now it's a lot brighter. So might be something to look for if you ever run into this issue. So we got that. We got that. Let me make sure I got my front panel plugged in properly. Yep, we're good. So now let's try it again. Fire up. Whoa. On and off. Let's try it again. Interesting. It turns on and it turns off. Do I gotta hold the button maybe? More problems. Great. So now through the process of elimination and just randomly unplugging things that, you know, really, they're gonna cut grass today? Guys, I'm recording. Can you not cut your grass today? Yeah, it's not gonna work. Okay. But anyways, through the process of just randomly unplugging things and, well, just unplugging everything except what I need to power it up, see if it works. Yeah, gotta, you know, do that thing. Woo! All right. We're on for more than 2 seconds. That bearing sounds like it's seen better days. I hear a beep. We got beep action. Got no display. Can we get a display? Hey, we got a display. Core 2 quad, 2.4 gigahertz, 4 gigs of DDR2. And the drive's not plugged in. So the $1 million question is what did I unplug that's causing this thing to not turn on or, well, turn off? Let's find out. So I think what I want to do now is just kind of delete on this, you know, cooling fan, because it's getting in the way. So let's take this out. Hopefully this doesn't fall and destroy everything in here. Will you come out, buddy? Hey, look at that. Thank you for cooperating. Now we can see our graphics card. Oh man, that fan is crunchy and done. But we got a GeForce 7300 GS, you know, that's something. So we need to see if this hard drive works, because I'm really curious on what's on it. I mean, hey, I might got some Bitcoin wallet in here, you know, some of that crypto stuff going on. Probably not, but you never know. So let's try that. Let's fire this thing up. Now, will it boot? Come on. I hear a beep. That's good. Lifestyle. AI. Alright, so it picks up the hard drive. We need to install a keyboard, so let's use the wireless one. Let's plug that in. Man, that fan sounds horrible. Let's plug it in right here. Reboot. Can't really touch that too good. Here we go. Alright, we get it. CMOS checksum error. Probably need to get a battery. That's fine. Do we have Windows? Do we have an operating system? Will this thing even do anything? Windows XP 64 edition. Alright, let me put you guys on pause. I don't want to put nobody's personal information out there. Be right back. So as to be expected, it has a password, but that's easy. We can easily bypass that. I got some utilities that I can do to take care of that, but I'd rather install a first copy of Windows XP, put a SATA drive in there. That might be an option. So I think what I'm going to do is let's kind of take this apart, see what's going on with this graphics card. I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to save this, as this thing is just dead and horrible. That fan is about ready to explode into a million pieces, but I'm more curious on why this thing would turn on and turn off. and all of a sudden it's working. I mean, I did unplug a bunch of stuff. It could just be as simple as a fan that's bad. So I'm gonna just take a gamble, plug it in back in this original power supply and see if it works. If the original power supply works, that's pretty cool because that's a power supply for this project and whatever I decide to do with it. So let's do that. Let's put a CMOS battery in because I don't like that era. And let's see if it makes any difference or if we have a good power supply. So old power supply is plugged back in, new CMOS battery. Let's see how that light's looking. It's actually brighter. I don't know. Let's see what it does. Did I plug it in? Did I press the button? Nah, no good. That power supply is dead. Bummer. So as far as that power supply, I'll probably just get a cheap one on Amazon for like $20, $30. Nothing fancy, and that'll be fine. My thermal take one, that stays as my emergency testing one. So now I want to take this off, take out this graphics card. So let's figure this thing out because, well, if I was to do anything with this computer, which mostly for scientific stuff, this fan will drive me nuts, and I think I have a better cooler for it that will not make as much noise. Woo! I even blew it out and it's still got a ton of dust. Nice. So how do we get this cooler out? Comment down below. Let me know. Let's see. Is this as simple as twist and pull? I mean, I do have the instructions over there. I could take a look at it, but that would just not be as fun as figuring it out and slicing my fingers on these fins. I mean, there's no way they expect you to do it this way and just reach these little push pins and pull them out like that. Or maybe they do. Yeah, because I already got that out. Let's take out the graphics card and the sound card. Interesting. Now, will that give me more room to twist this? Yep, sure does. Nice. Thermal paste action. Surprisingly, still moist. So I don't know how well it comes on the camera, but we got a Core 2 Quad Q6600. Alright, for our memory, we know we got 4 gigs, but let's just see what it is. Now this motherboard does support up to 8 gigs. Not that it would matter too much. Yep, 1 gig sticks. XMS2 6400, 800 megahertz. This might have been the real deal back in the day, you know? A hard disk drive, we got a Seagate Barracuda, 320 gigs. I think this was the 650 SLI motherboard. That's the chipset that we should have on it. 2 DVD writers, this whole floppy disk thing. So yeah, pretty cool setup and a dead power supply. So I'm gonna end the video here. That needs a power supply. I mean, obviously we could get one real cheap. I really don't want to use that monster site cooler as, well, kind of gets in the way. Or maybe I could just find another fan. Now the fan they did use for it, I guess they wanted some whole RGB action. These are Thermaltake LEDs. This one is shot. These little ones actually seem to be pretty good. And this graphics card, the 7300 GS, this fan is shot. I might have a fan for it. And 256 gigs of DDR memory. Still might keep this for this computer, but I think I need to find a fan for that, which we can source. So for now, I'm gonna look, maybe get a couple of parts. I really want to tinker with this thing, and I need a computer for scientific experiments, and this checks the boxes. Now, as far as the value and why I bought it, number one, like I said, the case. This case alone, I've seen it in a bunch of forums. I've seen them go on eBay for anywhere from about $160 to $200. These Lee & Lee cases are fantastic. They don't make them like they used to. I mean, of course, we've deleted on the whole DVD drive, but you know, this was an awesome case, and this was actually one of the ones I would have rather built in back when I had my computer back in 2006. But I settled for the knockoffs. You know, the knockoffs got the job done. They were $30, $40, and they came with a power supply that may have caught fire, may have not caught fire. That was the gamble that you took with it. So hope you enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for part 2. In part 2, we'll get this thing up and running, and I think I'll do some Windows XP action with it, along with seeing if we can torture it with some modern day activities. So thanks for watching. Comment down below. Let me know your thoughts, concerns, criticism, things you think we should do, suggestions, projects. I got a couple ideas for this case. I'm actually not looking to flip this. I actually have some projects in mind with it that I think could be fun. So if you like this video, definitely hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not. And as always, we'll see what we come up with next.